You're listening to Two Chunks and a Hunk. Movie musings for mostly everyone. Welcome to Two Chunks and a Hunk. My name is, in fact, Jordan Wonders, and this week I am your hunk.
I'm Doge. This is my first episode of this podcast, so I forgot to look up a quote. 1 second.
Yep. I always check every week, and they're both always like, yes, of course, I'm not stupid. And then the 1 week I don't check. Doge has no quote.
Is this the 2022 bullet train or the 1975 bullet train?
75?
Watch the 2022 one.
And you've
right
said
around the time
name,
bullets were made.
You said the name of the movie. We got to bleep it out.
I'm Doge, and you're a chunk.
Nice. Yeah. No, good.
Yeah.
I'm Carter, and I am going to ruin your life the way you ruined mine. Dude, I don't even chunk you.
Nice. Very good, Carter.
Oh, hunky boy.
Yeah. Why?
Tell me this. Why?
Well, today, the day of our recording, the day of our Lord, August 12th, 2022, is my wife's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
She turned 28 years old, which means she's almost dead.
Yeah.
And to celebrate her passing from this life to the next, I did find a way to turn my living room into a karaoke bar.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool app. You should use it. It's called Carafun. And it's
This week's episode is brought to you by Carafun. Jordan, tell them about what they can get if they download Carafun.
48,000 songs. I've yet to really find anything they don't have.
There is Casting Crowns on there, right?
There is Casting Crowns on there.
Great.
I did check that for sure.
They don't have Thunder by Boys Like Girls, which is a big bummer for me.
It's going to be like my first song is going to be like, what if his people prayed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Love it.
It's going to be so
Why
good.
aren't his arms reaching?
This is, I believe, what is called narrowcasting.
Yeah.
It's also our
Actually,
entire audience.
It's also what's called a podcasting.
Podcasting.
For all you non-Christians, there's also Black Sabbath.
Those are actually the only two bands it has.
Seculars, they got 80
They have your
grand.
music too.
80 grand. They got Michael W. Smith. They're friends forever and ever.
But anyway, I found a way to make it work. So I'm pretty excited about
That's fun.
Yeah.
Carter,
Yeah.
what's your go-to song? What are you launching into?
Do you want to know?
I assume
just
you'll
want-
have more than one song.
Yeah,
so.
sure. But what's a song that you're like, this is for me 100%?
Simply the Best by Tina Turner.
Ooh.
Jess and I were wondering.
I've been doing Tina impersonations since I was like 10.
Incredible.
I was wondering
I
if you would
had
do
my
a
money on
Celine.
Phil Collins for you.
It could be that too. There'll also be Elton John singing with Elton John, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Gotta
Yeah.
happen.
Would you make yourself cry if you did a Celine Dion one?
Dude, every time I want to do it, and I get way too into it.
I would love it if you did a Celine Dion and made yourself cry. That's actually
I've thought
all I
about
want
doing
for Callie's
Tell
birthday.
Him, which is Barbara Streisand and Celine Dion, and just doing both parts.
Anywho, should we perhaps discuss a
talk about
movie?
Yeah, I guess we can.
Choo choo pew
Today.
pew. You know what I'm saying?
Choo choo.
Pew, more like pew pew chunk.
Pew
pew,
choo
choo,
choo.
choo.
Even more accurately. This is the third and final installment of our Choo Choo Chunks series. It's all about trains, baby. God's greatest
series.
creation.
Thanks, David.
God's greatest creation,
Sir
trains.
David.
And this one is a brand new release. You know it. We know it. Let's just say it together. It's called Bullet Train
to Busan.
And I'm very excited to talk about it, but I must have a synopsis before I do so. Du soir.
This week's IMDb synopsis has no author,
Wow.
which, of course, as in the days of old, Athena sprung from the head of Zeus, ready to dispense wisdom to mortals. So did this synopsis spring forth from the ether, ready to enlighten our podcast. Ladybug, Brad Pitt, is an unlucky assassin determined to do his job peacefully after one too many gigs gone off the rails. Fate, however, may have other plans, as Ladybug's latest mission puts him on a collision course with lethal adversaries from around the globe, all with connected yet conflicting objectives on the world's fastest train. The end of the line is just the beginning in this nonstop thrill ride through modern-day Japan.
Why did they end on that?
Why? They should have stopped at just the beginning. The end of the line is just the beginning. In this nonstop thrill ride through modern-day Japan.
Oh, okay. This movie, Bullet Train, is why the world needs two chunks.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
Let's do this. I'm so glad we're hitting this right from the start.
I feel very I have strong convictions about this topic.
Hey, that's rare.
I know. I'm so middle ground, wishy-washy.
Lukewarm.
I think the first time we got to really feel the strength of the Chunkies was a call to action years ago now to check all of the boxes to fill out an application to become Rotten Tomatoes critics.
Yes.
Because at the time it was, honestly, I guess we've never really aimed for, we're aiming for the stars now.
Yeah.
5.5 years in. But at the beginning it was just like, let's just have fun and do this thing. And then people are listening and we start to have people we don't know that are listening. Like, oh, that's cool. Huh. So it's just like, we've always tried to shoot for a little bit more. And one of the big things was that Rotten Tomatoes critics getting all the reviews and all that good stuff. And fill out the application and send it to them in their time frame, which, by the way, that process has a lot of boxes to check.
Lots of
And we
steps.
even double checked the podcast side of things, and we got word back. I don't remember how long it took, but we got word back, and they said no, even though we had checked every box. But they did say it's because you don't really have anything written. You don't have anything written reviews, to where it didn't necessarily make sense, because when you read the fine print, it says X amount of episodes, but supposedly they also want the written aspect of things. And we were like, we don't really have the time. And regardless, the biggest punch to the gut was we'd have to wait till the next window opened a year after that. Mm-hmm. And then transferred into kind of a conversation we had about just being labeled Rotten Tomatoes critics in general. And then I can pass that off to whoever wants to keep the conversation going. But
well, I think what it boils down to is like, we talked a little bit about this last week. I find critic ratings helpful to a certain extent. I find ratings in general helpful to a certain extent. I think there's a sliding scale, right? If you see an action movie, a comedy, or especially a rom-com that sniffs mid-sevens, that means it's probably very
probably
good.
Amazing. Yeah.
And so you have to look at if you look at something and say, oh, it's got a 7.5, so it's probably just okay. What type of movie is it? There's all these different sliding scales for all these different things that you really have to look through, and you have to wade through some bad opinions, some bad reviews. But what really, really frustrates me sometimes is every once in a while you end up looking at the reviews for a movie like a Bullet Train, and it's just like, did you guys not watch the trailers before you saw this movie?
Right. I feel like with Bullet Train especially, the way you have to review this is, did they succeed? Did they hit the center of the bullseye they were aiming at?
Right. Because this is not Oscar bait, which I don't use derogatorily. Like I really like Oscar bait movies.
Yeah.
But this is not a drama. This is not
going to make me question my relationship to art. I'm not going to question my place in society. I'm not going to make a big life change based on this. It's not going to change the world. Yeah.
That leans action comedy, but it's an action movie.
Here's the thing about critics, Rotten Tomatoes critics. Critics in general are executive chefs. These people exist everywhere. They're also, I work on faculty, and faculty just tend to pull up by my own bootstraps. Nobody's in working all together to become a professor. Nobody works all together to become the executive chef. You've done something on your own laurels, and then you get there and you think, I'm it. And that just happens. That just tends to happen.
Sure.
That's why we say we're a podcast for mostly everyone, a podcast for the people. But it's things like this. Linda and Al Lerner of Movies and Shakers. These are some rotten critic reviews of Bullet Train. This film is a cartoonish.
You can't have a pun in your name and then be unwilling to engage with Bullet Train.
Yeah, right.
This film is a cartoonish action comedy superimposed on a super gross and grisly. Hold up, I clicked ads are everywhere. Super gross and grisly backdrop. Even Pitt and the rest of the cast can't save. This Bullet Train goes off the rails as a fast trip to nowhere. That's the kind of expletive that makes me so mad.
Yeah, that makes me very angry.
You are literally only in this, it feels like, for the italicized stamp on a poster somewhere.
Yes.
On some kind of non-reputable movie review Instagram that doesn't have the check mark yet, that you just want to be able to say, like, I said that witty thing. Bullet Train certainly serves the Brad Pitt brand, but it's too weak to deliver him to a new destination. Why are we looking for a new destination for? Do you think Brad Pitt makes movies to win Oscars?
I don't think Brad Pitt said yes to Bullet Train because he's like, this is a good move for my career. I don't think
he wakes up and he's like 1% better every day. It's like, what are you doing?
You know, I understand the irony of making fun of movie critics when we literally critique movies on this podcast. I like to think that we're a little more nuanced than that a lot of times, but even still. So the thing with Jake Paul this week, or Logan Paul, one of the Paul brothers, who cares? But
I don't care which one.
One of them saying that Nope was terrible, and Daniel Kaluuya clapped back on Twitter like, why do we care? Who are you?
Yeah.
What have you ever done?
In such a Daniel Kaluuya way.
Yeah.
Yes.
To just be like, just bluntly say what everybody's thinking.
Yeah. Like, bro, nobody, you've never done anything. Who cares?
I don't care what you think about this movie.
I'm not saying that because why would you care what we think? We've never done anything in the movie industry either.
We shadow wrote.
That's true.
Feliz Navidad.
That's true. Yeah, we got backdoored there. But I guess my point here is like, as a group of relative nobodies who love reviewing, watching, and talking about movies, it feels like maybe when you watch and review an action movie, you should watch and review it as an action movie.
Right. I really do think like reviewing movies should be, did they hit what they're aiming at? And for an Oscar bait movie, did they make me reevaluate a whole bunch of things about my life and now I'm going to change my life about it?
See, but that's not even necessarily a fair scale. I think the scale is, it's twofold, right? It is, did the movie deliver what it sold? And did I like it? That's the heart of a critique, right? There's a ton of movies that deliver exactly what they told me they were going to, and it's not for me, and I don't like it. So I'm not going to rate that highly. There's a lot of movies that I really, really like that I don't have any business liking.
Yeah.
I think when they line up is when you get something like a Bullet Train, which, should not get a 10 out of 10 and be applauded as the best movie of a generation, but it owns...
Yeah.
There's multiple symptoms of franchise fatigue. Sure. One of them is because John Wick rocked the world, everything has to be exactly... Do you really want that, though?
Right.
Do you want everything to... You want to come out and be like, that reminded me so much of John Wick.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many rotten reviews about this because our director was kind of a part of the John Wick crew. He was not the main part of it, but he had something to do with that. It was like, okay, everyone's like, oh, thank God. Like, I can definitely tell who the John Wick power was. It's not this half of the creative team or whatever.
Goofy.
It's like, why are you? That's not. This man directed Deadpool 2. Like, that's what's also so funny. We don't have to get into every flavor of critiquing things in an unfair way. But if you're going to research one thing, research the other.
Yeah.
Also directed Hobbs and Shaw. I do want to point that out.
Yeah, you should have known what you were going to get from this.
This is what we do.
Directed Deadpool 2, Atomic Blonde. Yeah, I mean...
Look at this dude's track record. You should have known what he was going to deliver.
This is what they make. Yeah. Stunt coordinator for Jupiter Ascending. Like nothing but bangers.
That explains the... I guess this is a good time to say spoilers for Bullet Train if you didn't figure that part out already. But I guess that explains the Channing Tatum random cameo.
Well,
and the Reynolds random cameo as well.
We've pulled the Reynolds random cameo twice now.
Yep. King of
that's
being
a
in
Hobbs
movies
and Shaw
for 15
thing.
seconds.
Loves that. I hope he gets paid for that.
No, he doesn't. That's even
Bullock,
better.
Tatum, and Pitt were all the Lost City. Same time filming.
Yep.
Oh.
They carpooled, I bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pitt basically looks exactly like he did in The Lost City, which is great. It's a fun little
It's a good look.
action rom-com.
a good look. Yeah, as we begin our actual discussion of Bullet Train and not just bloviating about how annoyed we are with people hating on things.
What a word, dude. I've never heard it in my life, but I know it's real. I just know it's real. What a great word. Bloviating.
I'm torn between how funny I think that is and how honored I am that I could just say a word and you're like, I trust that that's a real thing.
I believe that's a real word.
That's it. It fit perfectly. Phonetically, I was like, bloviating. That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
we can't all be as ventrifical as Jordan, so.
That one's nothing.
I think it is.
Pontrifical?
Could be.
Yeah. I believe it's a word.
I don't have the same faith
real
in my
gullible
friends. I don't have the same faith in my friends that you do. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be crazy. I loved every minute
Yeah, dude.
of Bullet Train.
Yep. I went
I
by
just-
myself, completely flew solo to this movie. It was me
What a
and
great solo movie.
Yeah. it's
me
a
and
good
5
solo
other people in the theater. This was, guys, and no disrespect to my wife or my friends, my favorite movie theater experience that I've had in the last
I love
year.
going to the movies alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I'll usually do some horror flavor by myself.
I don't think I could do horror by myself.
I think it's fun. I might go see Barbarian by myself.
Oh, that looks really interesting to
That does
me.
look
I'm
really good.
I'm a Bill Skarsgård head.
Hey,
scary boy.
I got the trailer for Smile.
Oh, yeah.
That looks so scary.
Very scary.
Yeah.
I got the full trailer for The Woman King, by the way, and that movie looks
very good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
look, here's the thing. I'm going to super pump right now just because it's going to flavor everything I say. And my super pump is the cast, just the cast.
Yeah.
Just the cast. And in general, their chemistry, their banter, every person. I think the weakest performance in this whole movie is Joey King, who still did fine.
Yeah.
I was going to say Logan Lerman because he didn't really do much.
Wait, where was he?
He was
Who
the dead guy.
he just died.
He was
the
dead
son.
guy? Oh,
The son. He was the dead guy.
wait,
That's
really?
Logan Lerman. Yeah.
I did not put that together.
Yeah. Did you think it was Post Malone because of the face tattoos?
Yeah, I was like, oh, they got post for
There's
this.
only
Wow.
one Caucasian man, I think, in the world with face tattoos, and he's in
It's
this
just Post
movie.
Malone.
It's
yeah.
Post.
No, man, I just every time somebody new showed up, Bad Bunny walked in and I was like,
Yeah.
he can act. He
Great.
did a good job. I thought he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
He was cool. He
could
was
be mad.
scary.
It was shades of like just putting Sting in movies.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
It was
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
okay, we're not going to ask too much of you. Just go in and fight.
Man,
Yeah.
every time someone new showed up, every time we got a title card for a new assassin, every time anybody new entered the fray. I mean,
Yeah,
for crying
dude,
out
it's
loud.
so fun.
What's her name? Hold on. Let me find it real quick. From The Boys, Karen Fukuhara. She plays Kamiko in The Boys, and all she was a concession cart person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's it. That was I think that was a wink because
Yeah, I think so too.
She is kicking the most bootay
In The Boys, yeah,
right now.
big-
Yeah. And
big
so
time.
it's like everyone's just expecting her to also be.
well,
I thought that was funny.
Zazie Beetz, her face is in this movie for what, 2 minutes?
Also, the world's coolest name.
Oh my
I know.
goodness. Everything she does, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I might watch Deadpool 2 today. She's so
Gosh,
cool.
Deadpool 2 does rule.
Deadpool 2 is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll piggyback on this.
Yeah, please.
I think Ladybug, the vibe of Ladybug,
Yeah, man.
it is the spiritual essence espresso drip of Brad Pitt. Like he
Dude.
Yes.
he is
He's munching on snacks?
the dude to just be, he's eating the whole time and he's stumbling into gorgeous action. He wore a bucket hat and still was one of the most beautiful
Right?
humans
That
I've
man is
ever seen.
60.
I know.
He's 60.
That sucks.
There's a painting of him somewhere that is aging horrendously right now.
Yes, dude. Yes. It felt like though Ladybug was one of his Dragon Balls. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it's going to go a little bit under the radar, and it's maybe because of the critiquing, but I think his role as Ladybug is going to age really well.
yeah.
Because there was still enough nuance, right? There is something different about him having it together, but also not, and just carrying the weight of bad luck so that we have we come back to it later and be like, actually, the bad luck is a good thing.
A bumbling criminal on a journey of self-actualization and therapy.
In the middle of it.
Coming to grips with his bad luck through the lens of like, well, everybody has their own thing. And I'm learning to be like, it's so good.
The weirdest thing in the world, but Brad Pitt in this movie reminded me so much of my counselor, Todd.
Oh, that's perfect.
Every single time, Todd's first response is, well, no, let's think about that. Anytime I say something, it's like, oh, that's exactly what Brad Pitt did this whole entire movie.
Yeah. And it just had to be Pitt stumbling into.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was realizing, because we're so action minded on this podcast right now. And it's going to be that flavor for much of the rest of our year.
That is true.
And so I do find myself picking up and being like, could Willis have? Could Cruise have? Could Stallone have? Could, all these different things. Could Clooney have? Clooney and Pitt get put together a lot because of Oceans. I just don't think there's a different kind of just charm to Brad Pitt that was the perfect flavor for Ladybug. And that's my super pump. Every moment of him. He is, I remember, I don't know why anyone has ever said that Brad Pitt is one note, but that seems to be a recurring thing for a lot of people.
I don't see how you could have watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and not come away going,
but it's like even the beginning of his career, 13 Monkeys and Fight Club, and I don't think he ever has been one note.
You know what's funny?
I think people are just mad he's always pretty.
I don't think about him frequently in these conversations, but I think accidentally Brad Pitt might be a top 5 actor of mine.
Yeah. Ooh, that's fun. I love that.
That is fun.
I think I might have walked backwards into loving Brad Pitt.
Yeah. I was so impressed by his nonverbals in this. Like he was, when he's not talking, when he's observing. And there's so much of that was brilliant throughout this movie. Because I think we're realizing when we get into these great metal beasts that are trains.
Yes.
It's like our set is very small. And so it feels very one act in a lot of these things. So each train car has like a new opportunity, and you have to be strong. I think when we don't have a wide lens, everyone in there, because we don't get to look at a sea of people. We don't get to walk through a casino of extras that could really F up the scene. Yeah. It's like it has to be everybody good. And we're only on the Brad Pitt up part of things. There's so everybody, like everybody's Jordan said,
delivering.
Is so
Everyone
good.
delivers. There's something
it was almost my super pump. When we talk about nonverbals, it was almost my super pump. The thing that stands out to me as the cast like fully delivering, fully committing is the fight in the silent train car between Brad Pitt, between Ladybug and Lemon. That was Tom and Jerry. Like that was him. I don't know how that worked so well. No, that's Lemon.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Brian Tyree Henry is Lemon.
Tangerine.
No.
Yeah, it's the truck that he takes over at the end is an homage to Who He Lost.
Tangerine is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right.
Because he's sour. Lemon is sour.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. No, that was incredible. Like nonverbals from everybody. Oh, you're drinking a Tangerine LaCroix.
I didn't even think about it.
Hey, is now a good time to let you know that Tangerine's my super pump for the movie?
Oh, yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
Almost mine.
For sure.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is my super pump for this movie.
Cast him in everything.
Put him in every movie.
What? Out of nowhere. What?
Put him in everything. I'm fine with him being this person for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. Give me a Tangerine spinoff. Give me a prequel to Bullet Train.
He's a certified hottie.
He wears facial hair like he was born with it.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe he was. I've never seen a baby picture.
Yeah, he's a certified hottie. He's super funny. He's good in the action. He's very intense.
Great in the action.
Dude, when he's emotional, I felt it, man.
He's so good.
I'm telling you, I don't even care if they're the same characters. Just make them the same characters. Just give me Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson together. Just put them together.
Here's something that hurts my gut, though.
Talk to me.
His next thing is the train wreck we talked about all day yesterday. He's about to be Craven, right?
Oh my God.
That's Sony. That's Sony.
He is, but that's still Sony.
That's Sony. It's not
that
WB.
ATJ's cast as Craven. Oh, that sucks.
I'm sorry.
You know what sucks
I'm
even
sorry
worse
to put that
is
wet
that
blanket on you.
He's a pretty inspired casting for Craven.
I know. What do we do? Maybe it's him. Maybe he's the...
I don't know.
Maybe AJ saves it.
Maybe somebody called him and was like, Aaron Taylor Johnson, it is Morbin time. Let's do this. And he was like, sold.
Let's Morb.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's Morb.
Yeah, man, I love this man. And I love Brian Tyree Henry. And the two of them together, their chemistry, their banter. The Thomas the Tank Engine stuff never got old to me. Never got old to me.
It was perfect. How is this the trainest train movie?
It is the trainest train movie.
How do we stumble onto the trainiest train movie for our series?
Oh my goodness, man.
And it's fun too, because I love our energy right now, and I don't think we anticipated feeling this good about it. I don't think it's because of the critic reviews.
No.
You have to understand, the other 2/3 are Snowpiercer and Train to Busan.
Right. Very good movies.
And so we're like, oh man, are they about to kill the train movie franchise?
This could be the last train ever made.
The third movie in the Trainergy. I think
The Trainergy.
Carter, what I'm the most impressed with is you had already seen it. We had a planning call a couple days ago. You'd already seen it by that point, and you didn't say a word.
Yeah.
And I would have
No,
been
because it needed to be
organic. No, I get it. I get it.
completely for y'all.
I have been like, I felt like I can't text you guys. Like I have to like keep a distance. It's like when I bought Jess's ring before I proposed to her.
Sure.
It's like I can't even see you right now because
Sure.
I have incredible news that I can't tell you yet. That's what I felt after seeing Bullet Train, talking to you guys. It's like I can't, this is,
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? I love a good surprise movie as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I had good vibes about this movie from the trailers even. It felt right. It felt good. I had high hopes. But I love leaving a theater and just looking at whoever you went with or talking to friends about it later.
Or didn't go with.
And just being able to be like, what a delight.
Yeah.
I just had a blast in that movie theater.
it really feels like I went to a restaurant and asked the waiter like, hey, what would you recommend?
Yeah,
and
just
they're
surprise
like,
me.
Honestly, try this. And it's the best thing I've ever eaten.
Right.
Yeah. Do you want to see like my still shot frame of like the non-verb, the face of Carter reaction to this whole movie?
Yes, big time.
It has bits of, this is great, right? Like it has bits of like, they were so wrong moments, but
Right.
it's like this. It's like this. Just motion like,
Is this the movie they saw?
Is this working?
like the whole time
How
I'm just
does this
looking
work?
at Chelsea, and that's all she's seeing is like, like this is like, I was just so mad at critics.
Dude, I agree.
Because on the Enneagram, we got to say what we love about each other, and I think both of y'all had something that like played a little bit into like my hopeful curation of relationship. Like I want people to know other people that I feel like they would love each other. And so when I hear I'm so glad we have a podcast, that we have a popular podcast to be able to say, no, go.
Don't listen. Go
please.
see this movie.
Don't.
No,
I want to protect
no.
all of you. Please, Jamie.
Jamie,
Run.
go
Jamie,
see Bullet Train.
Jamie, go see the train.
No, I get it. Because it's the critics are trying to keep people from forming a meaningful relationship with Bullet Train. And you're over here like, no, you have to be friends.
Yeah.
You simply must be friends with Bullet Train.
You know what the best thing about Bullet Train is? Friends, it's actually not John Wick.
Right.
Yeah, it's not at all.
great.
It's not
It is
at all John
very
Wick.
much its own thing. It's like this marriage of so many different.
Why does it have to be?
Because you know what we haven't even talked about yet? It's funny.
It's
Yes.
so funny.
Actually
laughed
funny.
It is so
Out
funny.
loud.
Like this movie succeeds at every turn.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. Callie and I, we have this language of grunts and groans for action movies. That
Gross.
we'll be sitting next to each other on the couch, and something will happen, and we'll both just be like, "Ooh," you know what I mean? Like just so like, "Ooh," so amped about it. And I just feel like this entire movie we were just like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh." Like, it is that Deadpool. I mean, I know that there's sort of a stigma around Deadpool. I even have a stigma with Deadpool of like, we get it, it's Deadpool, he's silly. But like, it works for a reason. The formula is powerful. And that formula is alive here in Bullet Train, but I would say perfected. Yeah. I think this is a better end product than Deadpool because the jokes feel more organic.
Well, and I think it doesn't carry the weight of being Deadpool.
Yes, it doesn't have something to live up to.
Right.
We had a character arc for a Fiji water bottle.
Yes,
Yep.
Carter.
Yep.
One of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
Absolutely loved it.
And here's what's brilliant about it is it wasn't until after the scene that I was like, wait, that is blatant product placement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It's just
Like,
now
it's-
occurring to me that they said, which water bottle company wants to pay us for this?
So heavy-fisted.
They basically did the
that
same
it's
thing
clearly
with
aware.
Voss
Yeah,
midway through
absolutely.
the movie as well,
Yeah.
which is another fantastic scene, by the way.
Dude, there's me and 5 other people in the theater, and I guffawed out loud just whenever he was like, bro, I just remembered I gave all my money to that guy to wear
Dude.
my hat and my glasses.
Because calling people bro and dude, and it made me
Y'all.
laugh every single time.
Pitt has most of the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
Brad Pitt has also always been very funny.
Yes.
He's very funny.
Even, whatever. I'm not a huge Friends fan, but whenever I see the episode where he is on, he's hysterical, even in a show like that. Like he's
Yeah.
Brad
unstoppable.
Pitt is he's like your most athletic friend that is also top 3 funniest friend. You're just like,
Right.
well,
I'm
okay.
right here, man. Just say Jordan. I'm on the call. What are you talking
He's
about?
the Jordan of the movie business.
No, man, I totally agree. He has a, when you talk about the it factor, like when that someone has something special that
Yeah.
you either have it or don't have it, it is not earnable or gettable or learnable.
Yeah.
But Brad Pitt is what happens when you have that it factor and then
Yeah.
add on a lot of hard work and talent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he just
No one has ever said he's the new version of, and no one's ever going to say like this new guy is the next version of
Right.
Brad Pitt. You know, like nobody even tries. Like, why would you do that?
I'm thinking this is bad. I don't know that this is 1-to-1, but I'm thinking Julia Roberts here of just like, yes, she's a good actor and she's very talented, but she just has this charm to her that's not teachable. It's
just
this
her,
thing you
yeah.
can't
Right.
learn.
It's the
Yeah.
thing, like with Brad Pitt, I don't think he could have done anything else with his life.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I
Imagine
mean?
if he was
It's
like
like-
a waiter.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like, no, he's got this thing. And so this was the only place he could ever end
Yeah.
up.
He was destined to end up in some casting call somewhere.
Right.
He's too cool. Let's try this. He's too cool to be a caricature because McConaughey, everyone's talking about like, who's the next like all you
Right.
have to do is have a Southern accent and be charming and funny.
right.
And it reminds you of Matt McConaughey.
Sure.
But it's like, you can't really, there's not a lot of people going out and being even able to impersonate like Brad Pitt. It's like, what do you even do?
Yeah.
Throw
You
some
accidentally
corn
catch
nuts
something
in your
impressively?
mouth, I think is the only answer.
What do you do? Yeah.
Chow down on some wasabi peas.
I wanted wasabi peas
Oh my
so
God. Me
bad
too. Me
when I was
too.
watching this
What a
movie.
great theater movie. It got me so snacky.
Oh,
Yes.
it did.
Yes.
Yeah, all I wanted was wasabi peas in a sparkling Voss. I would have snapped the neck for
goodness.
both of those in that theater.
I would have probably held somebody up out of the roof of a train and let them get chopped in half.
Oh my goodness, dude. It was so
We're talking
cool.
reactions. I had so many,
I know.
Yes, me too.
and I would just like let out some air. Just like, oh.
It's like I would forget that I was watching a pretty violent movie until extreme violence broke out and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
That's what-
until,
and
before
until
we-
Michael Shannon gets a katana embedded in his shoulder.
We got to talk about all that, but before we go to talk about anything else, we do have to take a break for some shout outs. Well, it's a shout announcement and it's here to say we're gonna do shout announcements in a special way. I'm gonna do it here and say some stuff, and everybody here says movie stuff, and it's time to go. Welcome to shout announcements, the part of the
Dude,
show.
was that off the dome?
Yeah, honestly,
Lies.
no, honestly, I wrote it.
I had it prepped.
Oh, that's an old song, man. That's from the 80s.
Wow. Send me the PDF of the lyrics.
I would love
Sure
to.
have
I'd
them.
love to. Hey, we got a new series coming your way starting next week, and that's really all we have to talk about here in Chat Announcements because we're very excited about it. Allow me to
I
set the
honestly
stage.
want to just get back to talking about Bullet Train.
I do too.
So
Let's
let's go
burn
through
through
this at the speed of a bullet train.
Let me lay the groundwork here. This was born Thankfully,
oh, wow, this is taking a long time.
in our, well, now I'm going to go even slower.
Oh boy.
In our podcast with three of
too
us,
fast.
sometimes one of us says, hey, I'm having a hard time with movies right now. And the other two say, let's talk about it. Here's what happened. I am experiencing...
I think you can say either you or Doge.
Yeah.
I've never said that in my life.
I am experiencing some severe movie depression and burnout. I feel like
Makes sense.
so many things I'm watching feel like the same thing, cut from the same cloth.
We're
I
switching
think Top Gun
podcasts.
Maverick revealed this big time for us, huh?
Yeah.
We're going to be a news podcast now.
To be a news podcast. No,
Hard-hitting political coverage that you've come to expect from Choo Chunks and Hunk.
we have decided that our next series, in order to keep things a little fresh, is going to be more action movies. No, but it is, though. It's going to be action movies. A lot of these are international action movies, but mostly the point here, these are action movies that keep things fresh, got their own unique vision. And I'm so pumped to introduce our next series. Five movies, 6 movies technically, 5 episodes. 5 for fighting.
Yes.
60 for a moment. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. We're starting with, now's the time, right?
Yeah.
We're starting with this year's big smash hit over on Netflix, RRR.
Yeah.
None of
guys,
us
I'm
have seen it.
pumped. I'm so excited.
So
I
excited.
cannot wait.
It's phonetically an action movie sound. It's just like,
Yeah.
It's just like,
RRR. It's like a dog. So anyway, tune in for 5 for Fighting, which I, honest to God, am pumped out of my gourd.
I am so excited. Should we say the other movies now?
Yeah, let's say the other movies. We're doing RRR. Sorry, now I need to pull up the list.
Yeah, I know. Now we need to now we need to pull them up.
RRR. Week 2 is Fury Road.
Yeah.
Oh.
Finally. Guys,
Breathe a sigh of relief.
I have been trying to get us to do Fury Road. And not that you guys have been working against me.
Right.
We've just been unable to find a time to do Fury Road. We were so close to finishing our Fast and Furious series 4 years ago
Yes,
with an
with
episode
Fury
about Fury Road. Oh, I'm so excited.
I think we'll be better at it now. I'm excited. I'm glad we
I'm
waited.
definitely better at podcasting than I was in 2018.
I'm glad we waited. Week
time.
3. This one I'm pumped about because I quite literally just watched these for the first time a week ago today. The Raid 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Together as one
double
episode.
feature.
I'm so pumped.
it is basically a 4-hour story.
It is. It really is. Week 4.
Man, Doge, I'm so excited for you.
So freaking pumped. I will pay endless amount of money to watch it in the same room as you, Doge.
You live 3 streets away from me. It's
That's why I said I'll pay anything.
Okay,
Week
fine.
4.
It's $100.
Week 4. Hope you like Donnie Yen because I do. Ip Man. We're watching
Yeah.
Ip Man week 4. And then week 5, closing it out with maybe my personal biggest surprise love ever in a movie. Like something I started and was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. Kingsman, The Secret Service.
Yes. Oh, man, what a good movie. I'm
This
so excited
series, I'm so unbelievably amped for. I wanted to just watch them all last night and be like, let me prepare by watching all of these movies real quick. So pumped for this.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Very good.
I cannot wait. And I hope you can't wait either. So make sure you tune in. Sorry, this shout announcements was long.
Hi, I'm Kevin Goatee.
Hey, I'm Kevin Israel.
We host Gutting the Sacred Cow, the best and most unique movie debate podcast out there. Why?
Because we invite our guests to pick a film that they find overrated or hate and try to convince us to see their argument.
They must pick a film that is a financial success, widely beloved, or critically acclaimed.
That's right. Some of the films our guests have tried to eviscerate: Raiders of the Lost Ark, Pulp Fiction, Ghostbusters. You can find us on all podcast platforms like Apple, Google, Spotify, and more. And if you want to watch our smiling faces, we're also on YouTube.
GuttingTheSacredCow.com is where you find all of our information, and we look forward to our guests infuriating you when they attack your favorite films.
Can I super dump?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get some negativity out of the way
Sure.
so that we can return to our positivity.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't know who to direct this super dump at, but it made me did not like this part of it. Sandra Bullock is 58 years old. It is okay for an actress to look 58 years old.
Is it the wig? Are you super dumping the wig?
It's not the wig, it's the digital de-aging on Sandy's face. The like Marvel Studios style, like, let me smooth out the wrinkles and make you look like Fiona from Shrek. Like it is so uncanny. It did not look like a human face. It looked like a wax dummy animated with the spirit of miscongeniality.
Congeniality, huh?
Congeniality. Yeah. The miscongeniality where she's like, this is actually what your dad was like. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my super dump is like, it's okay. It's okay to be 60. There's nothing wrong with being 60.
Yeah. My super dump, first of all, and I think you feel the same way, I'm fine with whatever you want to do to like personally work on your appearance or however you want to look, whatever makes you feel
Absolutely.
good. I super dumped that we saw her.
Yes.
I think it would have been so fun to just we didn't really have to see her. I think they wanted to have the car bit.
Yeah.
Right. That it falls down. Like, cause we already all know, like she's cast.
We know it's Sandra Bullock.
It's not like a secret thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, my super dump is that we even saw her, and that sounds like a vicious super dump for someone that I do love dearly.
I do too.
Feel like
love Sandy
is a family member, but yeah, I don't think we needed to even see her.
agree.
And if we did, we could also have just walked to the next theater over and watched The Lost City,
Right.
because she's totally fine and just like we just know how old she is. She just looks like
She's
Sandra
still
Bullock.
a leading
in it.
lady, dude. Like, there's no need to shoehorn. Anyway, I'm with you. It's not my super dump, but I'm with you. Do you want to know my super dump?
Yeah.
Tell me.
I have a super dump and then a super dumpito, a little guy.
Ooh.
And honestly, I had a hard time, but it's okay.
Yeah.
My super dump is that Joey King is an underwhelming final baddie. I thought that she did a good job. I thought she was the weakest performance of our main cast. And so when she ends up being sort of the final blast here, it was a little womp womp for me.
Is Joey King actually British?
I don't believe so.
She does a great job. This is a great
accent.
Great accent to pick up.
Again,
I think she
Is
does.
Aaron Taylor Johnson British?
He is. Brian Tyree Henry is not. And
yeah, his accent was whatever.
his accent is rough. I mean, it's not Kevin Costner in Robin Hood. It is not Don
It's
Cheadle.
not Don Cheadle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We said that at the same
But
time. That's fun.
That like South London is super hard to.
I'm watching
get.
enough Love Island to know it's a little bit off.
Yeah. He doesn't
again,
call anybody babes.
I don't dislike Joey King at all. I just thought that comparatively, she was a pretty underwhelming final baddie.
If I had my eyes closed, I would have said that was Sophie Turner. She sounds 100% like Sansa Stark the whole time she's talking in this
Yeah,
movie.
I can buy that. My super dumpito is you showed me two really cool gangs on the side of the train, and we never got to watch them fight anybody. And I really wish that we had
or
gotten to
each
watch them
other.
fight. Yeah, dude. Like, it just would have been cool if those guys got on the train at some point, I think. And we had to do like a Snowpiercer style 3 versus 20 kind of fight. Would have been cool.
Yep. I knew, like, you just had a feeling that our White Wolf reveal of the actor, like, it was going to be a bigger name. I didn't even look look far enough down the
I didn't
credits.
either.
I had no idea he was in this movie. Michael Shannon, right?
Yeah, you want to talk about accents that slip in and out.
Oh, and that's fine.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I don't
rough,
even
Mikey.
care.
Michael
even
Shannon
care.
is borderline stunt casting for the end of this movie, just to be like, hey, check who we got.
Check out who we got.
Check who we got.
Yeah,
It's the
totally.
White Wolf.
It's
White
the
Death, not White Wolf.
It's the exact energy of Brad
Oh, yeah,
Pitt's
sorry.
4-second cameo in Deadpool 2. As the invisible guy. It's like, oh, that was Brad Pitt the whole time. It's like, let's make an entire movie out of that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Michael Shannon. And
too.
this was great. I mean, this was fine.
yeah.
It's not going to be, it's not doing for his career what Ladybug is doing for Brad. Neither of them need it by any means, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was great he's got a hateable face. Like, and
He
he really
does,
knows
and yet
that, and
I
he
love
uses it.
him.
Yeah.
He uses it really well. I think even if he is to be pitched as being a phenomenally good guy in a movie,
I don't trust it.
it feels like there's layers. It feels like, But
That's why he really was the perfect Zod, to be fair to Mr. Snyder.
He really was.
His role in Shape of Water was despicable.
Can I tell you what I think I've decided this movie's greatest superpower is?
Huh. I'm dying to know.
Everything and everyone is so cool.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Everybody's costume, everybody's vibe, the way everybody fought, the way everybody died, even the stupid stuff, the look of the train, the soundtrack of this movie, everything is cool.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's such a flex of different action scapes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, we have Tangerine jumping on the back of which Aaron Taylor Johnson made me feel like he's, even in Kick-Ass, made me feel like he's just capable of doing all these things himself.
Anything.
Even I know that wasn't real. But all the way down to our anti-venom scene
Yes.
of Zazie and Brad Pitt, like Ladybug just kind of feels like there's got to be one around and grabs it for himself.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. And then I had forgotten that he had anti-venom in him
when
he's
bit.
getting chomped by the snake
You're
already.
not going to believe this coincidence.
Don't open toilet, snake inside made me squeal laughing.
Yeah, what a fun balance of, I think very recently we've talked a lot about when a plot gets spoon-fed.
Sure.
When it's appropriate to just have an actor basically like look and be like, say out
is
loud,
what's happening.
oh, can't believe, here's what happened,
Yeah.
can't believe. And there was a great balance of both.
Sure.
I
agree.
think, in this.
And I think it's because they know, sorry, I'm going to look up this director's name one more time. David, is it Leitch?
Leitch, I think.
So
Or
David
Leitch.
Leitch clearly seems
Lich.
to understand.
He was powerful in a previous life.
I am no man. There is something to be said for having the skill set of understanding that plot doesn't really matter in your movie. And by that I mean the decision to just say, let's go ahead and spell it out because we're here for the cool factor. The plot is a device to take us from cool thing to cool thing to cool thing. So it's okay if we just go, hey, just so make sure you understand this before we move on. This is what's happening. And I think this movie does it very well. And I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I really want to read the book now.
When it came up, is that a bit? Is that a joke?
No, it's a real book. It's a real novel.
Is it really?
Uh-huh. First published in Japanese and then translated to English as Bullet Train.
So interesting.
I'm very interested if the novel is this vibe or if it's just straight up, like if it is an action comedy
Or if it's just a thriller.
novel or if it's just a thriller about assassins on a train.
Right. Man,
This
if
is
it's a
simultaneously-
comedy, then yeah, I would love to read that book.
This is simultaneously here's a weird thing, my favorite and my least favorite of our train series. And
Expand on that.
I think it's
Your favorite and least favorite moments, I guess?
it's my favorite and least favorite movie of the series. And I think that's because I had so much more fun watching this than I did the other two. Like overall, this is the movie experience I would go back to and have that experience again over Train to Busan or Snowpiercer.
Gotcha.
And I
Yeah,
think that's
same.
just
Those are both like exhausting to an extent.
right. And that's
They're
just because
lean more
this,
drama.
This is so like has so much character and so much flavor.
I would press play on this movie again right now.
I would start it again today. Yeah. But the thing that I like least about it is that something about Snowpiercer and about Train to Busan had that underdog energy of like, hey, nobody actually knows that these are good. These were not they're not like, some big studio planned production. It's not like carefully tailored to make this response in me. It's just actually it's less corporate, you know what I mean, than this one is. And so there's this
Is it
weird
though? 'Cause
like,
look at these critic ratings, man. I mean, I feel like.
but if I
Bullet
like
Train is
this
a
one,
little
there's an element of, I don't know, an element of like sellout of like, yeah, of course you like the one with Brad Pitt the best. You know what I mean?
I mean, Chris Evans is the main character of Snowpiercer,
Sure.
and the
sure.
director directed Parasite.
This is just a little shinier, a little more polished.
It is definitely that.
a little
It is for sure
more
that.
like Hollywood big studio.
I think I got room in my heart for both things, man. I think I love.
I'm an all or nothing guy.
I think I just love Snowpiercer for what it is and love this for what it is. And I can coexist with both deep in my soul.
I need to. My counselor Todd / Brad Pitt Ladybug in this movie would tell me that I don't need to have such an absolute mentality.
I would also tell you that. You don't even have to pay me to tell you that. I would just straight up tell you that it's okay to like two things.
But I'm not going to
It is
listen
totally
to you because
okay
you're not
to
wearing
have
a bucket
multiple
hat.
feelings.
You forgot.
One of the more intriguing roles in movie making to me is the casting department. Sure. Because it feels like there needs to be this simultaneous awareness of this person's fit for the role for this specific story and an awareness of this person on the outside of this tunnel vision of a story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Brad Pitt has done other things. So you kind of have to be like, is this too close to blank? Is this kind of thing? To me, we've already said the cast is amazing. Almost all of us have a super pump that is directly related to that. I think the most inspired thing is to show us Hiroyuki Sanada early and wait until the very end.
Sure.
To let him be Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yes.
The fact that I had goosebumps sitting there, seeing him just sitting on that train with that cane, because in my mind, I say,
That cane.
I think that's a sword.
That cane is a katana.
This is a katana. And then to really just make it so flashy in slow motion, and the way he is slicing anything,
Yes.
including flesh.
It's like
including
a cut through
metal.
the chair,
man.
That cut through the chair and then through the body was sick.
I don't know if there is a cooler person to wield a sword in Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Hiroyuki Sanada. I was so glad that he was doing exactly what I hoped he would.
100%.
Giving wisdom like Miyake on steroids.
Yeah.
Like it was, every moment of him. And I was like, please don't die, please don't. Because it's kind of been a recurring thing of like, how many survivors? how many people
survivors
actually
on
live?
this train?
Yeah, and we had many more for this one. Well, not many more, did we? We had 5 survivors.
No, one dies.
We had 4.
Father and
4
son,
survivors.
Brad,
Father, son,
and Brian Tyree
Yep,
Henry.
that's
That was it?
Brad Lemon. Yep.
Because Joey King gets killed.
Joey
by a
King
truck.
gets smooched.
So we literally went 2, 3, 4.
We did. Yep.
That's so funny. We might have even made a joke about that at the end of Busan that we guessed for. But yeah, I didn't want to get to the end of this episode without mentioning Sanada, who I think he is so very much an extension of action anytime he's in it that it's like you almost have, it can go without saying.
Yeah.
Because you're like, duh.
Sure.
Like that's the biggest call your shot that you could have in a scenario like that, is to put a sword in his hands.
I didn't recognize Andrew Koji, who plays the father. But I'm realizing now that I just watched him in Peaky Blinders very recently.
Oh, cool.
And he's in, I think he's a minor role in Fast 6, but he was responsible for my first cool thought of the movie. Like when they showed him at the beginning, I was like, what a cool looking person. Like as he's walking and his hair's in his face and he's just mad, I was like, oh, he's cool.
Yeah.
He just looks angry and cool. And then it
This
just kept
movie-
going from there.
Oh my gosh. I want to find people that haven't seen this movie and be like, please watch this
I know.
with me.
I know.
This is a great movie to Sherpa somebody through. Be like, hey, just trust me on
Hey,
this.
let me do you a quick favor.
You're going to love
Let me
it.
do you a quick favor. Go ahead and watch
Yeah.
this movie. Yeah. That's how it was with
That is
Wind
what this
River for like
podcast
a
is
year.
for.
After Wind River came out, everybody, I was like, have you seen Wind River yet? Have you seen Wind River yet? Have you seen Wind River yet?
That was me with Pacific Rim.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think every once in a while a movie comes along that is so much better than the reputation that it earns.
Yeah.
And people need a little nudge, a little help.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to be.
Sometimes you don't really have to leave just learning something existentially. Like you don't have to walk out and just be like, man, that changed me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need to have fun.
Yeah, sometimes you can walk out of the theater and go, that was awesome.
That was great. That was a blast.
So I think this is what people mean when they say it's okay for you to turn your brain off and enjoy a movie. Because that
Also,
line,
you don't have to turn.
that line gets used to excuse movies that don't really deliver and the pieces don't work together fully.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think this is the kind of movie where it's like, you can turn your brain off because it ultimately doesn't matter. But if you do happen to turn your brain on, you're not going to ruin the movie for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think people use turn your brain off as a short form to mean turn off the taste, turn off your taste.
Yeah. don't criticize this because I like it.
Yeah, don't dislike it and you'll really like it. And it's like, no, I don't think so. This movie, by turn your brain off, I think what it means is you don't have to bring all that in here, man. Just watch this cool movie.
Surrender, baby. Let the ocean take you away.
Because it's got all the right
Listen
stuff.
to the sweet rhythms of the djembe.
You can go and pop your top
Take
off.
your shirt off. Why don't you come down to Uvalde?
I think that it's time, unfortunately, to rate this movie.
Hate to see it end.
Love to see.
I don't want to not
go.
talk about it. We're going to rate this movie using the scientific cinema scale, which is, of course, perfect, and as follows. The best thing we could ever say about a movie is own it, don't lend it,
Buy that poster.
The next best thing is buy it. That's followed by rent it, and then stream it. After that is forget it. And last but certainly least, the worst thing we could ever say about a movie. God hath forsaken us.
One of the things that Doge and Jordan have decided to do in the most heralded game in our nation called Jolf is when someone else is making their assumption of something, they mute them so as to not be thrown off by that. And in this scenario, I even, and here's the thing, Chunkies, I even do this thing to where I have to mute things. I have to be able to walk in and say, this is not going to affect me. Even in the rating system, I get to the scientific cinema scale and I think in my head, oh, I don't know what Jordan's going to say. I don't know what Jordan's going to say. Do I want to lean more critic because I want to be taken more professionally? Do I just rent it? But I buy it though, don't I? And then I look at my gut and I'm like, I buy it. Like I buy it. It was not hard for me. I buy this movie. This is a movie. This is one of those rare movies that I leave, and if it was playing in the next screen next to me immediately after, I would just walk right back. I would just go do it again because it is a blast. And I buy this movie wholeheartedly. I would have bought it at 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would have bought it at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. This Bullet Train needs to be seen, sure. I think it's fun.
Sure. Yeah, I buy Bullet Train as well. I knew as soon as I left that I was buying it. In fact, I would say that it's probably a watch or two away from maybe nudging up to a poster if it holds up on consecutive watches. Like, it's that good. I really, really loved it. But yeah, I knew when the credits rolled that this was a buy for me.
It's a buy for me as well. And I knew when we got the first title card on the movie that's a neon sign in Japanese and English. Guys, it's just cool. Like it's the Brad Pitt of movies.
It is.
It is so effortlessly
How
cool.
did we just get to that?
It is so effortlessly cool, and it can't be anything other than what it is, and that is effortlessly cool, and it's magnetic, and I'm apparently metal because I'm completely drawn to it.
I am iron, nickel, or cobalt.
I am completely drawn to it. I'm like you, Jordan. Like maybe I'll watch it again and buy the poster. Please go see Bullet Train. Like whatever influence we have in your life. And I know that like a while ago we were like, whatever influence we have in your life, get the COVID vaccine. It's really good and really helpful for society. Go see Bullet Train.
Maybe even more importantly.
Also more important than the COVID vaccine is go see Bullet Train.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
What a treat.
Absolutely.
What a genuine treat.
Guys, I want to go see it again so badly.
I know. I can't wait for it to be out. This is a total buy it on Amazon so you can just pop it on while you're folding laundry kind of a movie.
Absolutely.
What a great laundry movie. Well played.
Great laundry movie. I love it. Well, that concludes our Choo Choo Chunks series. If you can believe it, it's already over. And next week we will be beginning 5 for Fighting. Beginning with RRR.
Do we need to spell it differently to avoid a potential litigation?
I don't know how you spell it. It's just 3 letters. RRR.
Can we spell like FYVE?
Fight.
For like FYTING? Like
Fight
fighting.
for fighting.
Fight
For fighting.
It's like FJI.
And we only do Swedish action movies. It's
Fjäj för fighting.
Big summer blowout. Yeah,
Big summer blowout.
I'm very pumped.
Fruity birdie fruity. Sorry.
I'm very pumped for our next series. Make sure you tune in
Yeah.
to end today's episode. I'd like for each of you to say your name and what snack you would have bought from the concession cart on the bullet train. For Two Chunks, I'm Jordan. This one, I'm buying. You already know it's Sour Patch Kids. You already know it's Sour Patch Kids. I'm buying Sour Patch Kids and whatever sparkling water they have, or if they got one of those canned black cold brews without all the stuff in it, I would buy one of those.
Yes, sir.
I'm Doge. I'm getting everything cashews. Have you guys had everything cashews?
Yes.
Are they taste like everything bagels?
It's everything everywhere all at once, but the bagel cashews.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting what is also known as like a League of Legends crowd, nerd clusters.
I love nerd clusters.
They're
I
very
think we have
you
nerd
got that
clusters.
strawberry center. You get them nerds all around it, bro. I'm a nerd cluster boy, and it gives just that sweet sour that I loved about this movie in general.
Very good. It's that chewy
Pretty good.
good. It's that chewy good stuff.
And the crunch.
See you next week for RRR, my favorite movie about seals.